Hello, my fellow music bingo pros. My name is Matt, and welcome to some tips and tricks for your music bingo night. Today, I'll just be talking about some fun ideas to flesh out your music bingo event. Of course, these are just suggestions, so as always, feel free to do whatever works best for you, for your crowd, and for your event. Hosting your own music bingo event can feel stressful, especially if it's your first time. Your head might be filled with too many ideas or a lot of anxiety over what game you're gonna play. I know it can be really overwhelming, so just go ahead and take a deep breath, clear your head, and know that even if there are a few bumps in the road, people will have fun, and that's really all that matters. First, let's start with the music selection. One of the easiest ways to narrow down your music bingo theme for the night is by age. While most party packs can be used in almost any circumstance, sometimes having a reference sheet to remove any ideas that just don't make sense for your crowd helps. Some party packs that might work well for kids would be Body Parts, Colors, Cartoons, and Zoo Rock. Remember that since these party packs are made for a more general audience and not for any specific age, there might be some more explicit songs that you don't really want your kids listening to in these packs, like Black and Yellow in the Colors party pack, for instance. You can actually reorganize and customize the playlists for these themes on your own, and it's super easy. In fact, I made a tutorial on how to do just that. It's in the annotation in the top corner if you need it. Young adults have the most flexibility in terms of what themes can work for that age group. In fact, there are so many of them, I'm just going to list them on screen instead of saying all of them. The most notable ones for me would be cities, life's a beach, punk rock, and video games. However, all of the themes listed are sure to bring a ton of fun and energy to your next music bingo event. Later adults might enjoy some themes like cover tunes, guitar gods, hair bands, out of this world, rocker moms, rowdy country, and decades. These themes have a little bit of older music that would leave your crowd feeling both happy and maybe even a little nostalgic while playing music bingo at your party. For older adults, I especially recommend the Motown pack and the Golden Oldies pack. The energy provided by these will keep an older crowd smiling and enjoying themselves while listening to tons of classics they grew up listening to and loving. There are also party packs that, while they might work for any age, are a bit more themed and have more specific uses. There's the holiday packs for Christmas, Halloween, and St. Patrick's, of course, that are pretty obvious on when you should use them. Just don't forget to have costumes and decorations up for these parties because it'll make it even more of a blast than it's already going to be. There are also some themes that are more focused on trivia heads rather than your average music bingo enjoyer. Anagrams, antonyms, countries, movie soundtracks, and nicknames. I'll be going over this list in depth a bit later, so stay tuned for that, but just keep in mind that the difficulty for these packs will have a heavy impact on your night rather than most of the other themes. Now that we have our game theme narrowed down a bit more, let's start talking about some ways to make your party environment feel more immersive. There are plenty of ways to go about this, but here are two easy ways to do it. Create a theme around your party pack, or pick a party pack that fits your party theme. Depending on what your event is, one of these ways is going to be way easier to do than the other one. For example, making a Christmas themed party around the Christmas party pack is as easy as counting to 3. But coming up with a party theme for a pack like cover tunes, completely different story. On the flip side, using a theme like a bunch of babies for an upcoming baby shower you have means super easy fun for your party. But it might be a lot more difficult to find a music bingo theme that fits for, say, a housewarming party. In instances where the theme of the party pack and the theme of the party can't come to a full agreement, going with a more generalized party pack like a Decades theme will help your party feel very well-rounded. The next step is planning for decorations. This is more so for people hosting their events in person, but you can utilize a lot of these tips for music bingo parties that are virtual as well. One of the first things that you should think about is whether you're going with a more generalized, basic type of party or if you're going with a party with a theme. With events like weddings or family reunions, it might be better to stick with what's already set up for the event. However, planning things like birthday parties or holidays lend themselves a lot more easily to theme decorations. If you're hosting online, just getting a few decorations to set up behind you in the camera view or using a filter that fits your theme are some great ideas as well. Another thing to remember to plan is food. Obviously, if you're hosting somewhere like a bar or at a senior center, you already have food to serve your crowd with. Doing some themed foods for certain party packs would not only be super immersive and fun for your crowd, but it'll also be a lot of fun for you to make some of these crazy foods. Maybe you'll have fruit punch and coconut ice cream at a party where you're playing Life's a Beach, or some creepy candies for a Halloween party. And if you're really feeling up to it, you could even make one of those Jell-O salads for a 60s themed party. Another idea with food might be to host a potluck with friends or at a church and play the food fight theme. Real quick, I'd like to mention that I have a discount code for you to use on fatcityentertainment.com. By using MAT10 in the coupon code section at checkout, it takes off 10% of an amazing library of trivia games for you to host and play yourself. You can even use it on the newest party pack, Punk Rock. I love rock subgenres, so for this music bingo theme to finally be made feels like a dream come true. Again, my discount code is MATT10 for 10% off at fatcityentertainment.com. For now though, I'll go ahead and just get back to some more ideas for your music bingo party. Real quick, I'm going to go over a few smaller ideas for some music bingo events. One way to immediately up the fun factor is to print your own music bingo cards onto colorful paper. It shows effort and creativity. Plus, if you're doing an event with kids, they'll absolutely love it. You could also get cheap party props to give out, like Lays for the Life's a Beach theme or Sheriff's badges for the Rowdy Country theme. Not only will this help your crowd get their head in the game, but you can also give them something to remember the huge amount of fun they had at your music bingo night. If you're wanting a really long music bingo event, you could combine themes together into a mixed playlist. Something like TV themes and video game soundtracks would be a really easy combination. Just remember to double check how the playlists work, or you could accidentally be combining themes like cities and countries together, which seems like it should work, but it doesn't. On that note, let's discuss those party packs made for trivia heads. Make sure you know the experience level of your audience for these. If your crowd is more so beginners or at an intermediate level, you might need to provide them with an answer sheet to help support them. The themes countries and nicknames are all about the artist of the song and not the song itself. Countries has you figure out which country the music artist is from, while nicknames has you figure out the epithets of the artists. Movie soundtracks, while not as difficult as some others, require knowledge of movies and their soundtracks, so movie buffs would love this, while some others probably wouldn't. Antonyms is also a bit on the easier side of this group, as it takes the artist name and makes it the opposite. It might take a practice round or again an answer sheet to be able to get the hang of it for your crowd. As an example, instead of the white stripes for the band, it might be the black dots or something similar. It just takes a bit of extra thought compared to most of the other trivia packs. The hardest party pack would definitely be Anagrams. It takes the name of the artist and rearranges the letters to make new words. For instance, instead of it saying Beastie Boys on a Beastie Boys song, it might say Bass Obesity instead. It uses the same letters, but it's a completely different word. Even if you don't make or give an answer sheet for this game, I'd at least give your crowd some scratch paper to put their thought processes down on, as they'll definitely need it. None of the answers in this party pack are what they seem at first glance, even if you think it really couldn't be that hard. I promise, it is. Don't forget to plan some prizes. No matter how cheap or expensive, whether it's a candy bar or a trip to a resort, it doesn't matter. Having rewards for winning boosts competition within your crowd, and it also draws more players to your party. Even if it's something small, any kind of reward makes people want to play more and play harder. The biggest tip I have is to really make sure that your party theme fits with your crowd. Playing a game like Golden Oldies with your kindergarten class will not go down well, and playing something like punk rock might not be a great choice for seniors. You should also make sure that your choice of theme won't be offensive. For instance, if you plan on playing the Christmas party pack, make sure anyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas is okay with the choice. For example, people with non-Christian religions like Jewish people or Muslims, or people who dislike holidays in general. Also, be sure to go through the music playlists ahead of time to take out any songs that might offend or upset your audience. Any explicit songs at church youth group, songs that you know someone in your crowd absolutely hates, anything like that. The main goal with music bingo is always to have fun and spread fun. It shouldn't be something to cause concern for anyone involved, so keeping the needs and boundaries of your audience in mind will help ensure that everyone will enjoy the night. So that was a lot of info. Don't worry, I can make it short and sweet for you. One of the easiest ways to narrow down a theme selection for your party is by age. Just removing any themes that feel awkward or don't work will also help you find the perfect theme for your music bingo night. You can also choose a theme relating to a holiday, or host a game tailored towards more hardcore music bingo players. Decorations and food are great ways to make your party feel more immersive. Having a prize for your winner or winners is a great way to get people in the door and really into the game. Finding other little ways to make your party feel more vibrant, like colorful bingo cards, will add to the fun of your party. Just make sure you keep in mind what your audience wants, and from there, your night will be a blast. Well, that's just about all I got for now, folks. Of course, as per usual, these tricks are just suggestions and nowhere near mandatory. Do whatever's easiest and works best with your crowd and with what you've got. For more tips and tricks too, feel free to visit Fat City Entertainment's blog. They have plenty of tips and tricks that I couldn't even begin to imagine, and it goes back years. Remember, I'll have even more videos coming out in the future, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope these tips helped you move one step closer to being a music bingo pro.